Facebook Live, what's going on? How are you guys? Good to see you guys this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. About to go live on the air in about 9 minutes. Figure I'd talk to you guys first. See how you guys were doing. Everybody doing well. Good morning, Jennifer. Hey, Ken, if you can see this. Hey, good morning, Farron. It says remove over top of my thumbnail there, Ken. That's production stuff, Facebook Live. We're talking production stuff. Oh, it doesn't say it on your side? Okay. Good morning, good morning. Farron, that's good news. I will be praying for you for that. Very good.
Yeah, you were fine, but now we're really...
Let's keep Farron in prayer about that. What say, Bert?
The light, it's just, we're dark.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you close one, see what happens.
I did, and it's still dark. I did close one to see what happened. And it got darker.
I didn't see you do that. Good morning, Carol. Good to see you. Miss Olive, hope all is well. Blessings to you. Thanks for being on today. Thanks for checking us out. Hey guys, tell somebody we're on. Today we're talking about, our topics today are talking about interest versus commitment, the difference between interest and commitment. There's a big difference there. We're going to talk about that. A lot of us are interested in doing things, but commitment's a whole different creature. If you're going to be who God called you to be, if you're going to do what you're supposed to do, you have to get past interest and dive into commitment. That's in anything. So we're going to talk about the differences between those two today. That's what we're going to talk about. Share this broadcast so somebody know we're on. Ralph Graves Jr. Show. Call in today, too, guys. 888-329-3306. Do we have any giveaways today, Ken? Do we have any giveaways? I'm sure you'll come up with one. Go up with a giveaway or something.
Out the wrong time.
What's that?
It goes out today at 8:55.
Oh.
What does?
Nothing.
Oh. 888-329-3306. Follow us on Twitter at Ralph Graves Jr. at Twitter. Facebook. You're already here. Follow me on Facebook. LinkedIn, Instagram. We're everywhere. Start a watch party, because I think that your friends and family might enjoy this program as we talk about commitment versus interest. All right. So we got about 6 minutes and we go live on the air, but I'm just glad to have you guys with us and get a little bit of behind the scenes before we go live. I don't know. I think Jamie is coming in today. She usually calls in, but I think Jamie is actually going to show up in the studio today. So we're excited about that. We'll see. 888-329-3306 are the call-in numbers. We have a Twitter poll coming up now. Announce when we get on the air.
Oh.
Where's my sheet at? Is a Twitter poll on the sheet?
No, because I printed this from the office.
Looks like I'm going to announce the Twitter poll to you now.
And they can just tell me things.
What is it? It's
What's the Twitter poll, Ken?
It was if you could go back. Yeah, if you could go back in time.
If you could go back in time and change portions of your life, would you? Not portions of history, okay, but a portion of your life. Would you do that? That's the Twitter poll today. So most people, well, I'm not going to say what most people would say. So I don't know what most people would say, but I had to give that some deep thought. On the surface, I would say one thing, but when I really started thinking about it, I had to think about it again. So if you can go back in time to change portions of your life, would you do that? It's the Twitter poll today. But share this, guys. We're talking about interest versus commitment, the difference between the two. There's difference between the two, So we're going to be talking about those things today. Yes, Farron, that's some of the stuff we're going to dive into. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Diane. Good to see you on here this morning. 888-329-3306. 888-329-3306. Hot out there today, guys. Stay hydrated. Drink some water. Don't, I'm drinking coffee now, but yes, I get my water in during the day. Get your gallon and get at least 8 glasses in. Did we tell Jason the Twitter poll?
No.
Hey, Jason. The Twitter poll is, if you could go back and change any portion of your life, if you could go back in time and change any portion of your life, would you? That's the Twitter poll. 3 minutes to go.
All I read your lips was Twitter poll.
Oh, Twitter poll. If you could go back and change any portion of your life, would you do that? Okay. All right. Not history, just your very own life. Hey, yep. Hey, Maribel. Maribel Fortune. How's Big Dog doing today? We worked out pretty hard yesterday. How's Big Dog doing? It's good to see him in the gym with me yesterday. We're talking about the 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. Guys, call in. We'd love to hear your voices. I see you guys on Facebook. Well, call in 888-329-3306. www.dbam.com. Start a watch party. Listen, somehow. And, what's that? Oh. I was getting the signal from my producer to check my phone for my text messages. Let's see what my producer says. All right. Really? Okay. Fifth caller today who calls. I'm not doing this via Facebook. Fifth caller who calls in 888-329-3306.
No.
We'll get a prize. $25 cash app. Good morning, Melanie. How are you? All right. That's the fifth caller. 888-329-3306. But call in with something to say. Don't just call in and say, I'm calling for the money. That's not how we're going to do that. Fifth caller, 888-329-3306. The fifth caller, Pastor Ken Dominic will put $25 in the cash app. That's the fifth caller today, the fifth caller. Maribel, my boy's still in bed. Tell him I said good afternoon. Tell him I said get up. It's way past time. We got a minute to go. Minute to go. Less than a minute. Get my headphones on.
These headphones too. Thirsty. We might have to bring the light just for us. So when I go on his YouTube page and stuff, I'm like, what is that? And it's us.
I know what that.
I like this. Okay. Dad, turn this up too. They can't hear it.
Turn it up?
They can't hear it.
Oh, I don't know which one it is. Kyrie knows which one it is. What's up, everybody? Good morning. This is Ralph Graves. Welcome to the Ralph Graves Jr. Morning Show here on WWDBAM, WWDBAM.com, 860 AM on your tuner dial. So good to have you guys listening this morning. Another Wednesday is upon us, and we are here as usual on this Wednesday morning. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, or listening to the podcast, just welcome. Watching us on YouTube Live, that's great. Just so glad to have you guys here. My name is Ralph Graves, and the gang is all here this morning. The gang is here. Good morning, Janae.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Kyer.
Good morning.
What's up, Jason? And for the first time in a long time, in studio today, not calling in, but in studio, none other than Jamie Jackson. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning. I'm back.
Yes,
Woo.
you are. Yes, you are.
I feel some type of way about being in studio.
We're so glad to have you in studio today. So, guys, how's everyone's weekend? Let's go around the room. Let's start with Jamie since she's fresh in studio today. How was your weekend?
It was great. It was great. Nothing particularly, special, but any weekend is a good weekend for me.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Kair, how was your weekend?
It was good. I just worked this weekend. I sold my food.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Jason, what about you?
I spent some time with family, had a nephew's birthday party. It was a drive-by birthday party. So
Okay.
I spent a little time with them and just hunkered down a little bit. So it was kind of nice to be with family but relax at the same time.
Cool. Janae, how was your weekend?
It was really fun. I proposed to my final bridesmaid, so I have my bridal party all confirmed.
Very good. They all say
said
yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's exciting. My weekend was cool. My weekend's really not till Monday. I went wave running. Got out, went down Brigantine, got out on wave runners. Me and my son had a great time. I like to, I relax that way. I do crazy activities.
Now, see, you take Janae out on the canoe with the snakes, but you
Basically.
take Ryan wave running?
Basically.
I asked Ryan.
I thought Janae was
No,
your
wait,
favorite.
no,
Come
you
on
know,
now.
wait, but you remember I was asked last on the canoe trip. If you recall the details surrounding how I even
You
got
take your
there,
baby girl with the snakes.
it was last. It was last.
Well, we went wave running.
So.
I mean, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I got
Yeah.
nothing for
You
that.
owe her a trip wave running.
Yeah.
She don't want to go wave running.
I didn't want to go canoeing. Yeah, I'll go wave running before I ever go canoeing again.
You're not riding with me. Here's the thing.
I don't want to
Jason.
ride with you. You told us that we should get our own.
Yeah. We watched couples go out there for the first time. Jason's crazy. We go quite often. And when we got out there, this is the first time we went with a big group, Kair. There was a group out there, I guess the time of day and maybe it's tourist season. So there's a big group out there and they are not, you could tell from their body language from the time we settled, they were not into it. Like they didn't know what they were doing. Right. And so a lot of them were coupled up. And it seems like a cute thing that couples would want to do, but if you're a rider, it's like having somebody riding with a motorcycle with you. If your rider is not experienced, it's difficult. So we have to putt out to the race zone. It's about 1.5 miles. We got to putt out to the race zone, right? No wake zone, and once you get out to the race zone, I mean it's wide open. But they are struggling. Couples are falling off of the wave runners, Jason, in the putt zone, falling off. Like there's a guide in front of us and a guide behind us. And I kept wondering why the guide was a young lady taking us out. She kept stopping and turn around. So I stopped and turn around. People are in the water. People are bobbing up and down in the water. It's looking crazy, and my son's just shaking his head. But we had a good time out there, so it was a good time wave running, and it was cool. It was cool. And next time, Janae, I'll take you. Okay? She's just like, all right, yeah, whatever, Bob. Good morning to everybody watching on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live. Call-in numbers today are 888-329-3306. We got a great show for you today. Great show. We are talking about interest versus commitment. All right? That's the topic today. We're talking about having an interest in something versus being committed to something. All right? An interest in something may not get you the results that you're seeking, but a commitment to something does. There's a story that goes something like they're at the barnyard, and you guys heard the story before. All the farm animals called a meeting. They wanted to have breakfast together. And chicken said, I'll bring the eggs. And told the pig, you bring the bacon. So the chicken was interested. But the pig was fully committed because you have to be fully committed to something. You have to bring yourself. You have to invest in it. So we're going to talk about the difference between interest and committed, and even what the Bible talks to us about how about being committed to Christ, committed to God. And unfortunately, a lot of us we have more interest than we have commitment. Hey, if you don't know, I pastor Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, New Jersey. Been pastoring there about 14 years. It'll be 15 years in January, something like that. It'll be 15 years in January. We're located in Millville, New Jersey. We're having a good time down there. You can check us out. Church website is www.c3ecornerstone.net. You'll see some great stuff on the website. But hey guys, Awesome. The fifth caller today who calls 888-329-3306. The fifth caller receives a $25 gift from the show today. We'll cash out you a $25 gift. So, but you have to call in with something to say, something to contribute to the program. Good morning, Dan Fritz. What's going on, man? Always good to have Dan Fritz checking in via Facebook Live, and all you guys, Stephen Lomax, what's going on? Good brother. Hope all is well, and Jennifer and Erica. And so we're talking about this. Oh, and the Twitter poll today is, if you could go back in time and change a portion of your life, would you? Now I'm not talking about changing history, all right? I'm not talking about, changing history. I'm just talking about, you're 17, 18, whatever, or what changed a portion of your life, or maybe it's in college, or would you change that at all? Would you change that? I had to give that some deep thought. And so we're going to talk about that today. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. If you're interested in sponsoring this show is brought to you by some great sponsors. You also can be a sponsor as well. Just email Ralph@RalphGraceJr.com, and we'll teach you how to do that. So please consider becoming a sponsor so that the millions of listeners can hear what you have to offer. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. That's what we're talking about today. Let me ask the room while I'm preparing for our commitment versus interest. Is there a portion, if you could, you don't have to be specific about the portion of your life. What does this room say? What does this room say about if there was a portion that you could change in your life, would you go back and change it? Start with Jason, man. Is there a portion of your life, a season, a moment?
Yeah, I think if I go back to probably high school, where I played 4 sports growing up. I played baseball, hockey, soccer, basketball, and I wish I took it more seriously because I knew I was a pretty good athlete. But when I played in the high school I went to Cheltenham High School, it's a diverse area, but a lot of the kids who I interacted with who were on the soccer team, or they're kind of really the uppity people, and they're kind of if I wasn't part of it was really cliquey, and if it was if you weren't part of their group, then you were an outcast. So it really turned me off from it was little politics of sports, and really turned me away. I knew I was better than them,
right?
But I didn't want to deal with the headaches. I like playing sports for fun, but knowing that how big sports are, and people I'm not saying I'm a millionaire, but right. If I would have taken it seriously, hey, I could have been a good baseball player somewhere, instead of just having the politics and the different squabble, the different issues with high school, losing patience with it. I could have taken that further, but.
That ecosystem of high school is something else, and we think it's the entire world at the time. Right. We think that, and you know what too? And I'm going off of something. In the high school, the teachers in high school make you think that high school was the entire world.
Right.
I wish I had a teacher in high school that was real with me. They said, "Hey man, look, just make it out of here. Everything's gonna be different."
They give you actually life lessons. So learning about what AX plus B equals C.
Right. But that's good. That's good. Anybody else in the room? How about you, Jamie?
I think so. Back in college, I had enough credits to graduate a year early, but I had a year of eligibility left for speech and debate, and I was a nationally ranked public speaker.
Okay.
And I wish I would have used my last year. I probably could have gone even further.
Yeah.
And I could have majored in Spanish if I studied abroad for one semester, but I graduated early with just a minor.
You know Spanish?
I know Spanish, but I wish I would have studied abroad. I think that would have been a unique opportunity to live abroad.
I speak Spanglish. One of the things that I want to do, and I see a lot of my Hispanic brothers and sisters listening and looking on Facebook. I want to translate one of my sermons into Spanish and preach a whole sermon in Spanish. I've asked several of our Cornerstone folks to help me out. And it's Pastor, I don't, my version of Spanish is different than what you would preach. So, so I think, and we'll talk about that later on, but, I got to get a better group of Spanish speaking friends. You hear what I'm saying, Jose? But anyway, if you could go back, Janae, a portion.
Does this life get saved and I file it away and then I say, okay, never mind? like,
Kaya, if you could go back and, I mean, why is it always complicated? No, I guess, no, I'm just kidding.
yeah, no, I would still do it.
Yeah.
I got new ideas.
So you would change.
Would you have the same like? Would you be
I don't know.
like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would still say yes. I would
Okay.
still say yes.
About you, Kaya, would you?
I don't know. That's tricky for me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if it wouldn't change where I am today, like, then yeah. But stuff that happened made me who I am today.
Right.
So
I understand.
one moment definitely yes,
Yeah.
but it depends on
Okay.
how that works.
Right.
Long
And
term.
then my question comes in, like, okay, no, I like
See,
this better the other way.
I'm not even going that far back in history. I'm going like the last week. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I
Erase that meal.
Yeah, I wish I could have erased that bad meal I had the other day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going back to high school. I could care less about high school. I ain't going back to college. So what? I'm going back to last week when I could have did something better and I didn't do it. I didn't, or I ate something wrong, or I cheated on a workout, or you
That
know.
last ripping.
Yeah, I'm going back to that. That's what I'm going back to. And I don't know. I know he's not up and listening, but tomorrow is my oldest grandchild's 12th birthday. Shout out to Gabriel Jones.
Happy birthday!
Shout out to Gabriel. Hey, Jazz, if you wake him up, tell him Papa said early happy birthday. Hopefully I'll see him today and tomorrow. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud I got a grandkid.
If we shouting out birthdays, I'm going to shout out my baby girl.
All right, go ahead.
Drew Blake is turning 7 this Friday.
Wow.
Yes,
7
mommy's
already?
baby is a big girl. She asked me for makeup and high heels for her birthday. I was like,
No.
you are only 7. What have I got
I
myself
remember when
into?
she was born.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Talking about interest versus commitment, what you have to realize is commitment is an act. It's not a word. Let's just say that right off the bat. Commitment is an act. It's not a word. All right. John Paul Sartre said that. That commitment is an act, not a word. So we're talking about commitment. Interest might be a word, but commitment is an act. Okay, we want to be committed to something. Peter Drucker says this. He said, "Unless commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes, but no plans." All right. Unless commitment is made, there are promises and hopes, but no plans. The definition of commitment that I like is this. A commitment is the state of being emotionally or intellectually bound to a course of action. That's what a commitment is, according to American Heritage Dictionary. Okay? A commitment is the state of being bound emotionally or intellectually to a course of action. I'm bound by it. I've made a commitment from it. And from that perspective, a commitment is a conscious choice to act in order to create a desired result. Interest versus commitment. Interest does not keep us in the game, but a commitment does. All right? In interest, we may be interested in surface things like losing weight, or interested in learning a new language, like I just said. We might be interested in getting our money right. We might be interested in changing our lifestyle. But interest does not bring about change. Commitment does. Commitment does. A difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you're interested, you only do it when circumstances permit. But when you're committed to do something, you accept no excuses, only results. All right? That's what we're talking about today. A difference between interest and commitment. I mean, think about all the things that we say we are committed to. Sometimes when I was preparing this, it boiled down to maybe I'm not really committed. I'm just interested in doing that because I've dabbled, but I haven't been committed to it. 888-323-3306. The fifth caller who can contribute to this gets a cash prize today from the Ralph Grace Jr. Show. What do you guys say about interest and commitment? And before we go to our first break, I want you guys to think about that. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about when you look over? Have you been more interested in things or more committed to things?
I'm moving. I've already made moves into commitment. Like I've been interested for like the last 2 years and have instead of committing to like an initial course of action, I was doing stuff that surrounded it.
Okay.
You know, so I was still in it, but I wasn't actually committed to what I wanted.
Right.
So now I'm committed to my goals and stuff. Like I'm in there.
Okay. All right. Anybody else in the room? Anybody else?
I think I have more interest than commitment because I think I really do take it very seriously when I commit to something. And
Right.
It's like my time and my energy and my resources can't, I guess, stretch far enough for everything I'm interested in.
Yes.
So I have to really evaluate, okay, I'm interested in this, but I'm not ready to commit to that yet because I don't have the time, energy, or resources it will take to make that a successful endeavor.
Yeah. I think we have to have a clear line drawn. We have to understand what commitment is. And a lot of times we say yes to things and yes to people who want us to be committed.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just saying yes because we're interested and not really committed to it. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about 4 keys today. 4 keys to successful commitments. Because if you want the desired results, we have to be committed to that course of action. I don't know what some of the results you are looking for in your life, but listeners, callers, it's never going to come until a full commitment is realized. It is the same thing with your relationship with Christ. A lot of us are interested. Listen, you guys know that I'm a believer. I'm a pastor. When on the show, and we'll talk about Christ. A lot of us are interested in God doing things for us, but are not invested in a committed relationship with Him through His Son, Jesus Christ. So commitment brings about a whole lot of things that interest don't bring about. So we come back after this commercial break. We're going to talk about the 4 keys to successful commitments. We're going to dive into the Twitter poll. All right. If you could go back, even yesterday, last week, if you go back in time and change a portion of your life, would you do that? Would you do that? My name is Ralph Grace Jr. Listen to WWDBAM.com, 860 on the AM dial. We will be right back.
Revive Hydration is a proud sponsor of the Ralph Graves Morning Show. Revive Hydration is the first IV hydration and vitamin infusion service in the South Jersey area. For more details, please visit their website at www.revivehydration.com, or you can give them a call at 856-485-0070. Again, their website, www.revivehydration.com, or give them a call at 856-485-0070.
Facebook Live. You guys think about commitment versus interest.
Right.
We're going to talk about four keys to successful commitments. 4 keys to successful commitments. How's the lighting? Y'all see me? All right.
Yeah, you're fine.
Set goals.
All right. Is it letting
What
you?
you do every
What's
single
it
day.
saying?
What do you do on a daily basis? This is what you do. Run parallel.
Yeah, it's working on it now, Ken.
If not, that's okay. Evaluate what you do on a
Did it
daily
ask you for
basis.
anything, or is it just doing it?
Set goals
It's doing
and
it. It looks like
Yeah,
Oh,
she
there you go.
turn
All
your
right, so you're
volume
gonna
all the way
just have
down.
to turn your volume all the way down.
small changes on a day-to-day basis. Select letters,
Does it go any lower?
size,
that was.
abilities,
Yeah, mute it. Just mute
about
your
getting
volume.
Yeah, just like turn off your
functional
Your mic.
fitness.
and then pull.
Just mute the microphone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Conscious
because
decisions.
this picks you up.
Coach B, 856-236-0810,
Is that good, Ken?
www.xathletics.co, xathletics123@gmail.com.
I'm going to switch to
Coach
chat.
B _X on Instagram.
Can you turn your phone to landscape? There you go. You need like a box or something.
No, it's gonna stay like that.
What's up, everybody? We are back. It's the Ralph Grace Jr. Morning Show. The call-in number is 888-329-3306. We are talking about the keys to successful commitments. We're talking about the difference between having an interest in something and being committed to something. So we're talking about that today. Also, the Twitter poll is, if you could go back in time to change a portion of your life, would you do that? Yes or no? You can follow me on Twitter for that. So we're talking about the 4 keys. The first key to successful commitment is you must have a strong desire. You must have a strong desire. Strong desire is the first key. In order to fully commit to something, you need a clear and personal, compelling reason, right? When you commit to something, right? Because without that strong desire, what's going to happen is when you begin to struggle, you're going to quit. As soon as it gets difficult, as soon as there's a bump in the road when it comes to what you committed yourself to do, you're going to quit. So number one, to be successful at our commitments, we have to have a strong desire. The desired end result needs to be meaningful enough to get you through hard times and to keep you on track. Just think about some of the things you've been committed to in your life, right? You have to have a strong desire, because no matter, life is relentless. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Life is relentless. It never stops coming at us. Never. And life is, and so if I'm going to be committed, if I want to achieve a desired result, I have to be committed to it, because I have to have that strong desire, because it'll get me through the hard times. Guys, think about it. Think about a struggle that, and we have college students in here. I mean, you guys have graduated college and whatnot. I know there were moments where you said, "This is not for me." And you were committed to it. Janae's over there doodling, but I was involved in Janae's experience. Janae didn't have, tell me a story, Janae. You didn't have a place to live. You had nothing going on.
Well, I didn't legally have a place to live. I was squatting on my school's campus for a semester. But it was college. That's what you're supposed to do. Rough it. Go to class.
Right.
Don't eat lunch or breakfast.
Committed, but that was commitment. Some people would have just been like, "I'm coming home."
Yeah.
And we even had that conversation. I remember I said, "You want to come home?" She's like, "No."
No. Yeah.
No. She had a roommate that let her in the dorm. She was completely squatting.
Yeah. I didn't have a room. I didn't have a key to the room that I was in, because I wasn't supposed to be in the room. So she had the room next to me, and they share bathrooms. So I was able to get into the room because she let me in.
Yeah. I tell you, that takes commitment.
Yeah.
That's roughing it.
It was fun though.
What about you, Kaya? Was there a moment or a time where your commitment kicked in, where you're like, this is beyond interest. I'm committed to doing this. I have a strong desire to stay where I'm at, stay what I'm doing?
Yeah, with cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are things that we have to have, guys. You have to have a strong desire. Jennifer Woodard says on Facebook Live she desires to be a missionary. So what I do, she just can't waste her money on junk and do some things like that, but she has a desire to do that. And so a strong desire will keep you committed till you find your end result. A strong desire, what about you, Jason?
I was when I first got in the radio, when I was interning, because unpaid internship and working 2 other jobs while interning was, at first, for the first couple of months, I was really trying to struggle to think I'm going to give up on it, because I'm like, is this really worth it? But I'm like, no, I'm committed to this.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride it through, and then got me 2 jobs in the radio, so I stuck it through. So I didn't throw in the towel then. But if I was younger, if I was probably if I was 19, 20, I probably would have. But I was a little bit older. Then,
right.
Saw things clearer then.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said something that's key too. As we get older, we see the importance of commitment versus just being interested in something. What about you, Jamie, with this commitment and strong desire and things like
Definitely. I mean, I feel like Janae, like my law school experience was like Janae. Like after law school, they didn't tell me you had to pay to take the bar exam and you needed a bar study loan and it was going to be like an extra $5,000. I'm like, what? I done came all this way and now I'm not going to be able to take the exam? Oh, no, we're going to find a way.
that? Oh, yeah. You're right.
At that
Yeah,
point,
there was
the
definitely
principal.
some squatting and hustling and
When you're committed to something, you're going to write the check for it.
absolutely.
I'm just going to tell you it right now.
One way or the other, as Mama would say, you're going to write a
You're gonna
check
write the
one way or
check.
the
You're gonna
other.
write the check. You know, I wrote a book called Unstoppable. If you didn't get it, right, it's on Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, RalphGraceJr.com. And somebody asked me the other day, thank you, Unstoppable, sold everywhere. Somebody, people always ask you, how much did it cost? You know what my answer is? Everything.
Mhm.
It cost me everything. I had to be committed. I'm working on the next book, Undeniable, Unbreakable. I'm working on these. I got 25 books inside me, and it costs. It costs. I got to pay publishers. I got to pay this one. I got to pay that one. I got to pay that. It costs. You have to be fully committed to it. When commitment will cost your time, commitment will cost you friends, commitment will cost you money. You have to bring the bacon to the breakfast. You have to bring something to it. Everybody in this room, everybody at the sound of my voice that has committed to something, it has cost you something. That's the difference. You have to move past just being interested and being committed. I know a lot of people who are interested in, you might look at somebody's life and say, hey, I'd like to do that.
Mhm.
But would you really want to do that? Do you know what it costs them? Do you know that it cost them friendships? It might have cost them their marriage. It might have cost them a lot of things. My mentor, and I call him my mentor because I only met him once, but he mentors me through his books. Les Brown, right?
Mhm.
Les Brown. I don't know if you guys heard of Les Brown. Everybody, really likes what Les Brown does. But Les Brown will tell you, he took a job in Ohio with one suit, $40 in his pocket, nowhere to stay. Thought somebody would hook him up. They didn't hook him up. He said when people left the radio station, he climbed in the dumpster and slept in the dumpster at night just so he could be ready for work. And it costs. That's commitment. Now, we see the finished product and we get excited. So when I'm talking about commitment, are you really committed to who you want to be, to sleep in your car? We know Tyler Perry's story. Homeless, sleeping in his car, doing plays. Now he owns a whole studio lot and he's the man down in Atlanta, wherever he is. But that's the difference between being interested and being committed to something. So you have to have a strong desire that cannot be shaken. You have to have and I know I'm listening to believers here, right? And believers are listening to me and they're tuning in and whatnot. And we say we want to be committed to God, right? And that's great. I'm committed to God until he tells you to do something that you're completely uncomfortable with. Then all of a sudden your commitment wanes. And so I challenge you, is that really a commitment or is that just interest in what God can do for me? A commitment to Christ is being just that, committed to him, investing in him. I'm living my life according to his will, even in the tough times, even when I'm misunderstood. You have to have a strong desire to be committed to something, even for a season. Next point we got to get to. Keystone actions. All right, I moved past my interest. I have a strong desire. Here come the keystone actions. Keystone actions is you have to identify some core actions that will produce the results that you're after. Right? We always talk about losing weight. We always talk about getting in shape. We always talk about whatever the case may be. There are some core actions. If you're committed, watch this. Let me hit you at home. If you're committed to making your marriage work, then guess what? You're going to have to take some keystone actions. You're going to have to identify core actions that results in a successful marriage. Okay? All right, so I'm just putting it out there. There's a difference between interest and commitment. Jennifer Ward says our family thinks that you're foolish, because what they do, they don't understand that God directs her moves. Listen, when you are committed to God or committed, stop looking. Here's the thing I think stop looking for other people to understand you. Stop looking for your family and friends to get you. If you are committed to who you're supposed to be, to what you want to do, you will find other people committed to that same journey. That's who you bring alongside you. Watching my wife do her thing now, right? Those of you guys know what my wife does. She's working on her, she's becoming a family practice nurse practitioner, right? FNP. And it's the result of having the right people around her. We often say, I say it all the time, show me 4 of your friends, you're the 5th. You're the 5th. Whatever your top 4 friends are, you are the 5th. And so we can't be so worried about what our family, this is to Jennifer, stop worrying about what your family thinks. Does anybody else worry about what your family thinks and what this thinks? That's great. That's cool. You better let your family know, yeah, but I'm committed to this, and there's an end result that I'm seeking. So there has to be some core actions that will produce. Now, here's my question. Why do we fall off in doing these core actions? Can anybody help me with that? I know there's some core actions I have to take to become who Ralph Graves needs to be. Why is it in the middle of it, guys, and some core actions that you need to take to be whatever it is you guys want to be? Why do we fall off doing those actions?
Maybe because the results don't come as quickly as you want, or are you just really not committed? Like, yeah. I think it just gets down to you're just not committed. Yeah. If you let it fall off or you're just not committed yet. Like, you're just really interested. Like, you were interested, and then
I'll try it.
Yeah, and then you got really interested, and then it was just like, nah, it's too much. Like, okay, that's it.
And let me tell you something funny about the human mind. We constantly look for the easy way out. Constantly look for an easy out. Commitment will not allow you to find it all comes back to mindset. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It comes down to mindset. I like what you said, Janae. I moved from interested to really interested. I'm interested enough to try it. Yeah. But I'm not committed.
And I think people, like, I think it's sometimes you overestimate yourself because everything is a process. So if you just jump right into it thinking I'm committed now, like, no, you're not yet. Like, you haven't actually started to do the work. Like, the commitment comes over time. You realize, wow, I am committed to this after time. Yeah. Like, I use fitness. I didn't realize that I was committed to a healthy lifestyle until I switched my training. Like, wow, I'm not just committed to this one kind of training. Right. I'm committed to all around healthy living. Yeah. So like, I wouldn't say I was committed, but my actions said I was committed.
Right. So you have to identify the core actions that will produce. Anybody else want to comment on that? Anybody?
I feel like you can't commit to something that your heart isn't in. Like, I think that's probably like my biggest issue with the fitness and, healthy eating thing. My heart has never been in it. Right. So like, even though there have been seasons where I've been committed to weight loss or working out for a season, I always end up going away from that because my heart is not in it. My heart is in food. Right. My heart is in butter. Put that butter in there. Put that bacon on top. No. Right. That's my problem. Yeah.
But it's so many things. With some folks, hey, I'm in school, but I'm not committed to it. I'm unfortunately I'm married, but I ain't committed to it. I was interested in the idea of marriage, but I wasn't. It's not me, y'all. I've been married a long time, but I'm talking about people, and I see them when I counsel them. They're interested in the idea of marriage, but not interested in the commitment or even carrying out the keystone actions that will produce the result that they're after. It's work. It's work. Hey, I want to be a top chef. All right, who's the guy's chef that we watch on TV? What's his name?
I watch Food Network all the time.
Well, who's one of the top guys?
Gordon Ramsay.
Okay,
Come on.
Gordon Ramsay, whatever. Gordon Ramsay.
I'm like Bobby Flay.
Those guys
didn't.
Those guys didn't stumble upon becoming the best chefs in America.
Right.
They were committed to working at it. They were committed to understanding food and textures and what with what, and they're a little bit different than just I'm cooking in my kitchen and I'm trying this.
Right.
So whatever it is, you have to take some keystone actions. We're talking about moving from interest to commitment.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is commitment like the intensity that you go after something?
It starts with the intensity, but the commitment is the stick-to-itness when all hell breaks loose.
Because now I'm thinking about relationship with God and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like you'll stumble, that you'll have your off days or whatever.
Right.
But you're still committed to making a long-term thing.
Commitment is sticking in there. Commitment is understanding, like you said, you're having off days and bad days and ups and downs, but I'm not letting this thing go. I'm not letting this thing go. Remember, and under Keystone Actions is that we must remember it's what we do that counts. It's not what we say. We can say that we're committed to something. Nobody cares what you said. It's what you do that counts. It's what you do that counts. And so we have to identify keystone actions and focus on them. All right, here's the end result, but I need to focus on the keystone action. When I was writing Unstoppable, the keystone action was, I got to get 2 chapters done today. I got to get on the phone and talk to some people. They were keystone actions that led to the end result of this book that it's on its way to being a bestseller. Like how I did that.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
I love it.
Yeah. But I'm just telling you the truth. But they're keystone actions. All right. You have to move past, I'm just interested in something. If cooking is what you love to do, then study cooking. Study the top chefs. Enroll in a cooking class. I don't know, whatever it is you need to do. If whatever, I don't understand, whatever it is you want to do, you can become better at it. But it comes down to mindset. You have to be willing to write the check on yourself and willing to make the sacrifice. I'm reading a book now. I just turned my son on it yesterday by David Goggins. I don't know. You ever hear David Goggins? Called "You Can't Hurt Me." This guy's a ex-Navy SEAL. Phenomenal book. He's something else. But he talks about mindset. It's called "You Can't Hurt Me." This brother's a bad dude, but it all comes down to mindset. He talked about how he failed the ASVAB 3 times to become a Navy SEAL. He said, I would have took it 4 times. I would have kept taking it until I got it, because he was in the Air Force. He got mad at himself because in the Air Force, he allowed himself to balloon up to over 300 pounds. He was discharged and he was home. He was feeling bad about himself. And a Navy SEAL commercial came on and he said, I want to be a SEAL. Everybody turned him away. So he passed the ASVAB to get into the Navy, but he didn't have a high enough score to get into the SEALs. So anyway, the guy who was running the SEALs and trying to get him in said, listen, you're going to have to be down to a certain weight. He lost 106 pounds in 30 days. Mindset.
What?
He said, man, I ran, I did push-ups, I did sit-ups, I did pull-ups, I was committed to becoming a Navy SEAL. But this whole book is called "You Can't Hurt Me." But it's mindset. It's about taking the keystone actions to get you the desired results. And are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give some things up? Here's my next point before we go to break. Count the cost. Count the cost. A commitment requires sacrifice. A commitment requires sacrifice. I talked about it early. We're going to come back after the break with the verse of the day. We're going to dive into a little bit of count the cost. Remember the Twitter poll, everybody. Listen, 888-329-3306. That $25 cash gift prize is still sitting out there. I'm not going to give it to you just because you're watching on Facebook. You have to call in 888-329-3306. Have something to contribute to the program. And we'll be right back after these messages. Ralph Graves Jr. Show.
My name is G.
Revive Hydration is a proud sponsor of the Ralph Graves Morning Show. Revive Hydration is the first IV hydration and vitamin infusion service in the South Jersey area. For more details, please visit their website at www.revivehydration.com, or you can give them a call at 856-485-0070. Again, their website, www.revivehydration.com, or give them a call at 856-485-0070.
You working today?
Actually, today is the first day of my vacation.
Oh, how about that?
Yes,
Oh, we'll talk about that.
I am
You going
on
anywhere?
vacation. Yeah, just to the shore for a little bit. You know, take the kids to the beach. Like Drew is a beach lover.
Is there a volume all the way
I pushed it down as far as I could,
You
but
have
I don't know how to
headphones to
turn it
plug
all
in?
the way off.
Yeah, because we just literally need your picture, and I can hear like
I know.
What's
I
that?
can
mean
hear it
echo.
too.
Here, plug in one of these headphones. That ain't good.
no, it's a
Oh.
You
it's
can't.
got the
That-
it's got the little thing.
There's no mute on that phone?
It's
I got
muted.
the mic muted, but
Yeah,
it
the
won't
mic is
mute
muted,
the
but it
sound.
won't-
Like I
yeah.
pushed it all the way down as far as I could, but if you go to settings, can I turn it off? I put it on do not disturb.
No, maybe
No.
In
if you
settings,
had
but-
like headphones or something to plug in, so they play through the headphones, so we can't hear it out loud.
and I meant to bring my headphones too, but I don't think I
all
got
the way down. I can just hear I lose my train of thought when I'm talking
Because it's like
because I can
the echo.
hear it and I'm like, did I say that already? It's like,
Here, you want me to just turn it off or just put my picture on there instead of me being actually live on there? Can I just send him a picture?
It'll
he's
still
shaking his head no.
no, because it'll still your avatar will be up there, but you'll still hear it. 'Cause you're
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Facebook, call in 888-329-3306. Jason's standing by to answer the phone.
You want me to just leave it, Janae? Like
Yeah.
take it out, just come on out.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done about it.
Okay.
Well, he's muted her mic.
No, she was like, you can stay on.
Yeah,
But-
stay
Oh,
on.
Stay
stay
on,
on.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
What's up, Sylvia Bogan? Good to see you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. Now it's time for the verse of the day. Commit to entrust, especially for safekeeping. Commit to give in trust or charge. Commit to bind or obligate by pledge or assurance. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." Once you understand what the word commit truly means, you will see the change in your life you're really looking for. I'm Janae Graves, and that was your verse of the day.
Thank you, Janae. You know, one of my favorite verses in the Bible, I think we understand that verse, but I think we don't understand the word commit. I think we understand that verse, but I don't, and that's what we're talking about today. What is commitment? Commitment is deeper than interest. But before we go any further, Jamie informed us during the break that today it begins your vacation. What are you doing today? Or what are you doing during your vacation?
I am taking my girls to the shore to have a little beach time, little girl time.
All right.
Drew's, whose birthday, that's her favorite thing to do. So
Okay.
it's all about her for the next 5 days
Oh, already, huh?
already.
You ever meet those people? It's my birthday month. No, it ain't.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm saying happy birthday to you today. It ain't your month.
This is her birthday trip.
Right.
It is all about her.
Yeah. That's cool, though. That's cool. I'm glad that you guys get to enjoy yourself. You get to take your vacation around your daughter's birthday. We're talking about the difference between commit and interest. Now, we talked right before we went to the break. We said that count the cost. Commitment means that it's going to cost you something, and cost can include time, money, risks, uncertainty, loss of comfort, and so on. And I think that's where a lot of folks drop off. As soon as we get that loss of comfort, as soon as we have to invest a little bit more, because then if we listen to the wrong voices, somebody will say, don't invest in it because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Right? No, I know what the outcome is going to be. Your mindset has to be so strong that I know what my outcome is going to be. There is a reason why certain people live at different levels than others. I often say we get 20, if God is good to us, we get 24 hours today. And it's what you do with your time that separates who we are. Commitment is not just a word. Commitment is an action. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. You know, we talk about being committed to God, right? I'm committed to God. You know what that really means? And I beat this over the head. That is giving up the will for your life and walking in the will that God has for your life. That's losing something. As a matter of fact, Jesus said, if you save your life, you'll lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, he ain't talking about necessarily physically, but if you give up your will for my will, you will find it. That's what commitment is. It's going to cost you something. So you have to identify the cost. Let's bring it back to the natural. Identify the cost before you commit. And it allows you to choose whether you're willing to pay the price or not for that commitment. All right?
It's funny how it changes throughout the seasons of your life, what you're willing to pay. Like, for example, I feel like when I was younger, my time, I had more free time. So it didn't cost me as much to commit to things that took time. I didn't really have a lot of money. If you wanted me to put some money in on it, that was a big commitment. Whereas now I feel like that's more reversed for me. Like I'm easier to put money in on something and okay, if it works, it works.
Right.
But to commit my time to it is a huge sacrifice to me.
Yeah. See, I'm on, I guess because I did everything early, I'm blessed. I'm able to commit to a lot of things and make a real commitment to my life and who I want to be because I don't have the kids. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of things I wanted to do before I couldn't. I was raising a family. But they're gone now.
They're not gone. They're self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient,
you did your job.
I should say. So you're right. It does come in different seasons. And I don't know, who was I talking to? Oh man, we got a couple people on the line. I don't know who I was talking to about. Oh, I was talking to I run a podcast. I was talking to one of my guests yesterday. Is that so many times we lose ourselves in being dad and mom? Because I read a post where a lady said, "I've been great at being a wife. I've been great at being a mother. Now that my kids are self-sufficient, I've been terrible at being me. I've lost myself being a mom." Being a wife, I forgot who I was. So you got to be careful about that. Hey, on the line, Jasmine Jones. Jasmine, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for calling in. What say you about this commitment and this versus interest?
Well, one of the examples that I have that pertains to my life was when I decided to make a career change. And it was the biggest decision I had to make because it entailed me losing a secure job or leaving a secure job. So, being interested in it was looking at it, seeing what it, offered me, what I was learning with the position. But the commitment was when I put my 2 weeks in and had to fly away to Kentucky for a week and have my kids left behind. So that's when I think I experienced that and I don't know. I love where I am now. So it's definitely worth that jump.
So you felt the uncertainty and even the loss of comfort, and that you're right. You made a commitment. Okay, I'm on a plane. I'm flying out to see what y'all are talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the comfort thing. I was in a state I'd never been in, around people I've never seen, and doing things I've never done before. But I learned a lot, and I'd actually be willing to do stuff like that again because I knew that God had something.
Well, thank you. And thank you for calling. And it's good to know that you understand the difference between interest and commitment. And you have a wonderful day. And tell my grandson happy birthday. I know, but I'll give him a shout out publicly. Thanks for calling, hon. Talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye. Joyce Smith is on the line. Good morning, Joyce. You're caller number 2. Good morning.
Good morning and good morning, family.
How are you?
Well, yourself, I know you're doing good. Because when I made the call, my thought was realization is that you have to block out the noise. You have to all the noise that comes externally and internally. Yeah. And like we're saying, you had talked about the young woman who said that she had to learn how to be herself.
That's right. Yeah.
Me like a ton of bricks because you spend so much, or I have much of my life taking care of other people that I really didn't know who I was. Yeah. Yeah. In order to fit that anything, like you don't even realize the gifts that God has placed inside of you. Right. To commit. So once you discover that, there's a lot of unlearning, a lot of undoing. Yeah. Yeah. People can even commit to it, and you got to get past the fear and, like I said, the noise. It's so much. But once you block out all that, you're good to go. And sometimes this comes from places that are so close to you. Yeah. You know, and you're so well, because right now I am preparing for something. I am expecting something great to happen in our lives. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of noise I got to block out right now. I got. That's right. That's right. That's right. What is, I know that's coming. Yeah. 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 That's right. And so, you know, and once and again, it's we talked about having keystone. Our second point was taking keystone actions. And once you understand, okay, this is what it's going to take, I have to be committed to these keystone actions to do that. You know. But thank you for the call. Thank you for the insight. Always good to hear from you. You too. You guys have a great day.
All right. See you later.
Bye. I got his name wrong.
Jason. Okay.
Won't be the first time nor the last.
And so, guys, you're hearing from our callers today about this and what it takes to live a fully or to be committed to something. Being committed to something, you will be misunderstood. It's going to cost you some losses, and it's going to cost you being misunderstood. And understand this about people, right? Even our close family and friends, they do love us. But sometimes they're afraid, even subconsciously, that if you achieve all that you were created to do, they'll lose a position with you. You may not be able to be at their beck and call. You may not be able to pick up their phone call when they call immediately, right? And so, but you have to be committed. You got to be committed. And that was kind of a strong chord that I got connected with this young lady yesterday when she said that I've been great at being a wife, been great at being a mom, but in that I forgot who I was. And it can happen to guys too. We can lose who we are to great causes that are different or that are other than what we've been called to do. All right. So before we close out, I got to get to this final point, right? Act on your commitments, not your feelings. Act when it comes time to act. Remember, commitment is a promise that you made to yourself, that you made to others, that you made to the organization, that you made to the job, that you made to the church, that you made to your spouse, that you made to you. Whatever you made the commitment to, you act on the commitment, not the feeling. Not the feeling. I don't feel like doing that today. No, I don't act on my feelings. I act on the commitment. Feeling told me to stay in bed today. An alarm clock went off. Feeling said, man, this is feeling good. But commitment said, feet on the floor, and let's get to doing what you've been designed to do. So we have to act on that. Why do we automatically chase after our feelings? Anybody want to jump in on that? Because feelings hit, bang, and we act on the feeling. Somebody rubs you the wrong way. I ain't doing that no more. But wait, you have to. You're committed to it. You're committed. So what? You got your feelings hurt.
Right.
So what? So what? Your little feelings got hurt. You have to be committed to it. Somebody talk about that. Jason, chime in on that.
Well, it's just kind of like, it's like everything else, kind of just, if you're committed to something where, even like if someone's trying to bring, if you have any negative forces bringing you in, if that shouldn't overweigh your commitment. If it's, if you have the negative vibe with somebody, heck, I work with people here that give off negative vibes.
Right.
That's not going to curtail what I'm doing personally and moving forward.
Yeah. You have to see it through. What about you, Kair, when it comes to this act on your commitments, not feelings? Are you a feeling person, or this is my commitment? I gotta, regardless of how I feel.
I feel like it depends on what it is. I feel like with cooking, definitely, it's more of a commitment now because I just kept finding myself coming back to it.
Yeah.
Like I would do it, and then stop. But like that's what fulfills me the most.
Yeah.
So I feel like depending on what it is, but with that, I think it's definitely commitment.
Yeah. So we got to act on our commitments and not our feelings. Guys, listen. Everybody's not going to be nice to you. Everybody's not going to make you feel good. There's places and things you've committed to. You act on the commitment because remember, it's the commitment that will get you the desired results that you are seeking. It's the commitment that will give you, not the feeling. It's the commitment. It's the commitment. All right. Hey guys, fifth caller today. We had 2 callers. Only got 2 minutes left in the show. A fifth caller would have got a $25 cash prize. 888-329-3306. 888-329-33. Oh, Twitter poll. How's it doing? Real quick. How's it doing? About a minute left. How's it doing? The Twitter poll was, if you could go back to change just a portion of your life, would you? A lot of people talk about going back to high school. I was talking about going back to last week.
It's 100% yes.
100% yes. 100% yes. What do you guys say? So we talked about the difference between interest versus commitment. I hope that you gain some insight today. There are things that you're interested in, things I'm interested in. But there's only a few things I'm committed to. And there's a difference between the two. And commitment is not always comfortable, but commitment will get you the desired results. Hey, listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sometimes the only way to get past something is to go through it. You got to be committed to going through it. Got to be committed to making it happen. You guys, if you're watching, you see the smile on my face because I'm excited about challenges. I know that I'm going to have bad days and rough days, but I'm committed. Are you committed? Are you just interested? So work that out this week, guys, for yourself. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye, everybody?
Drink water.
Yes, stay hydrated. Anybody else?
Well, just real quick, on September 5th, if you are interested in learning about a relationship with Jesus Christ, you haven't quite committed to it, you can come on down to Cornerstone Community Church, 911 Church Street, Millville, New Jersey. We will be having I'm not going to call it an old school, I'm going to call it a new school.
That's right.
Outside tent revival.
That's right.
And you can learn all about Christ and make a decision to commit your life to him.
Thank you so much for that. Anybody else? Hey guys, remember to keep Christ first. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. My name is Ralph Graves Jr. We'll see you next week. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Yo, Facebook Live, thank you for checking it. Nobody got the cash prize today.
Does it roll over?
No, it don't roll over to 50. Don't go over to 50, but it rolls over to 25. So we'll try it again next week. Thank you for the callers for calling in. Ken Dominic, great job producing down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They don't see you, but I see you. Thank you. Jason did a great job today. So we're going to keep pushing, keep moving. You guys,
Please join
have a
us
wonderful
Mondays
day.
and Saturdays
See you.
at 2 on WWDB for Investor Schooling Live.